Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to be reviewing WWE NXT UK 205 Live and WWE NXT 5th of December 2018. Yes, 3 reviews in one video because I don't really want to stretch it across 3 videos. We kick off with the NXT UK show. The first match is Joseph Connors versus Dan Maloney. It was a decent enough match. A few hard strikes, a bit of technical wrestling. It was a pretty decent match. I love Joseph Connors. He's gone back to his mentally deranged gimmick, which is absolutely fantastic. He goes with an Irish whip, sunset flip, buckle bomb, Connors with the don't look down for the 3 count. Yeah, solid enough match. I'm going to go with a 3 out of 5 for that match, which is pretty damn decent. Then we have Isla Dawn in the back and asked about getting to the top of the women's division. She said she's come from places of honesty, truth, spirit, and they are the qualities that she needs to journey for the NXT UK Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley appears and she said she asked for suitable competition. She's found an opponent and she tells her to watch very closely. The promo between them two were pretty decent, to be fair. I like both the women. The champion is fantastic. Dawn is really, really good. I'd give the backstage promo 5 out of 10. We then see Trent Seven and Tyler Bate arriving to the building, but they are met by the Coffee Brothers and Wolfgang. Officials get between the group and Johnny Sate shows up. He then tells the Coffees and Wolfgang to leave. He's like, listen to me now, go. Very authoritative. I love how Johnny Sate was in this package. The animosity between these troops is fantastic. I'm going to give it a solid 6.5 out of 10 for that promo a little bit. We then go to Dave Mastiff versus Mike Hitchman. 2 bigger men, so as you can tell, there was a lot of punches and kicking and striking in the match. But the match finished when Hitchman went for a cannonball, but Mastiff gets his feet up. Running drop kick and cannonball for the 3 count. David Mastiff? I don't know how to pronounce it. I forgot. It was like 3 hours ago. Got another win. He is undefeated in NXT UK. Solid enough match. I'm going to go with a 2.75 for that match. I did enjoy that one. We then... Oh, he was asked about his victory. He said he does not want to underestimate Mike Hitchman. He said he's going to the top. We see Eddie Dennis behind him as he walks away. Originally, I thought it was Wade Barrett because it looked very, very similar, just kind of like Wade did a few years ago. So I kind of like, what the hell? And then they kind of told me who it was. So yeah, that was quite funny. We then go to Ligero versus Tyson T-Bone. Ligero with a cannonball off the apron. Return to the ring. Ligero with a springboard splash for a 3 count. Tyson T-Bone dominated quite a lot of the match until Ligero started getting on some offense. It was an alright match. I'm going to go 2.5 out of 5. It was a decent enough match. Good win for Ligero. We then go to Rhea Ripley makes her way to the ring. She said she's all about opportunities. She found she took her opportunity and became the first ever NXT Women's Champion. She's now handpicked someone to have the opportunity of a lifetime. Candy Floss. If you don't know, Candy Floss is cotton candy in America. She was in like colourful outfit. They shake hands. Proper clean break and a lot of respect in this match. Rhea sends Candy into the turnbuckles, connects with the series of shoulders, and then Riptide for the 3 count. Solid match for a decent effort. I'm going to give it a 2.25 out of 5. After the match, she raised a hand and then a forearm to the back of the head, and then forearms to send Candy out to the floor. Didn't expect it to be turning nice all of a sudden, so that was a nice little cherry on top. I'm going to give the attack on top of the match to boost it to a 2.75 out of 5 with the post-match attack as well. We then get announced that Sid Scala said that Joe Coffey will be facing Trent Seven next week, and they will have an announcement about the NXT UK tag titles next week as well. We then go to our main event of the evening, Wolfgang with the Coffees versus Travis Banks. Solid match. The Coffees get on the apron. Tyler Bent and Trevor Seven come out and Banks with a suicide dive onto the Coffees. Wolfgang goes for a suplex. Trent trips Wolfgang and Banks gets the 3 count. The main event was okay. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. It weren't that solid compared to some of the other decent matches on the card. But overall, I'm going to give the NXT UK for this week a 7.5 out of 10. It was a really solid show. The first one I've watched in like a month, I think. So glad to be finally getting back to it. We then go to 205 Live. First match is Drew Gulak with Jack Gallagher versus Brian Kendrick with Akira Tozawa. Gulak with an earfall, Kendrick with a slice bread number 2, and Gallagher breaks up the cover. The referee calls for the bow. Gallagher with punches, but Kendrick punches Gallagher. Gulak applies to Gulak. Tozawa is stopped by Gallagher with a series of knees. Gallagher with a headbutt to Tozawa as Kendrick passes out in the Gulak. It was a decent enough match with the post-match attack. I'm going to go with a 2.5 out of 5. Solid opener. Then we go to Drake Maverick with Buddy Murphy. He mentions that the rise of Buddy in 2018. He mentions that Buddy is one of the most polarising people on 205 Live. You made yourself some enemies, including Cedric Alexander. The match will be nothing like the previous matches. There will be no home field advantage. But he said he's glad that he's facing Cedric. It took 2 men to beat him last week. Mustafa Ali is a tougher opponent. If you want to prove to everyone how good you are, let's do it next week. Leave your friend behind. Buddy said that he will let Drake decide their opponents. Buddy asked if that was too polarising. I love Buddy. He's a heel. He's fantastic. Solid 7 out of 10 promo. We then go to Akira Tozawa versus Clay Roberts. No, sorry. Aria Daivari. Where did I get Akira Tozawa? Sorry, I was reading the other one. Aria Daivari versus Clay Roberts. I'm going to assume a local talent. He hits him with a loaded clothesline and he falls to the mat before he can hit another clothesline. The referee calls for the bell for referee stoppage. I'm not going to rate that. It made him look strong, so I don't know. It wasn't actually a match. If we're going for a promo point of kind of thing, which it kind of was, I'd give it a 5 out of 10, but I'm not going to rate the actual match because it really wasn't one. Then we go to Mustafa Ali in the back. He says, "We all fall. The hardest part is getting back up. It's very serious. Took a fall. Now he gets back up. Last week was a good first step." He said he's proud that his boy Cedric is getting what he deserves. Ali said that when it's his turn again, whether it's friend or foe, you better get ready for a fight of your life because he will be. Yeah, decent Mustafa Ali promo, 6 out of 10. Then Cedric Alexander in the interview area, he's asked about his reaction to Buddy Murphy's comments. He said he struck a nerve when Buddy says that Ali is better. Cedric says that he will not let Ali take his spotlight. He laughs and said he's not going to let Buddy flip the page. Cedric accepts the challenge and will take on whoever he's put in front of. Bit of tension brewing between Cedric and Ali there. Again, 6 out of 10. And then we're back. Noam Dar said he needs to be taken seriously now. Buddy cost him a chance against Tony Nese. Noam charges Buddy to face him in the ring to see whether he is the star player of 205 Live. I like Noam Dar. That's pretty decent. I'm not going to give that a rating though, really. We then go to our main event of the evening. Kalisto and Lince Dorado versus Mike Kanellis and TJP with Maria Kanellis at ringside for a Tornado tag team match. TJP tells Kanellis to get the plancha. Kalisto kicks TJP. Maria takes... sorry, I don't know. Pinata. Sorry. TJP tells Kanellis to take the pinata. Kalisto kicks TJP. Maria takes pinata for a moment. Kalisto tosses the pinata to Maria, and Kalisto with an assisted Saldala Soul to TJP, and Dorado goes up and hits a shooting star press for the 3 count. It was a solid match. I'm going to go with a 3.25 out of 5. It was a solid, decent match. And then Tony Nese was the last. It was told that Noam Dar will face Buddy Murphy next week. Cedric Alexander will face Tony Nese. Tony said the last time he faced Cedric Alexander, not only did he beat him, he broke him. Tony said that Cedric is he knows Cedric more than anyone on 205 Live. The match between Buddy and Cedric will not happen because Cedric will not recover from this match next week. Solid finishing, 7 out of 10. Overall, it was a decent show. You had some good matches, some good character development, building the stuff. I'm going to give that a solid 8 out of 10 for that show. It was a decent enough 205 Live. Then we go to your main event of this video, the NXT. We have Matt Riddle versus Punishment Martinez. Matt Riddle with punches, but Martinez goes for a chokeslam. Middle with a chop and kick to escape. Roundhouse kick to the temple, elbows to the chest, then applies the bro mission, and Martinez taps out. Then Cassius Ohno appears on the stage behind Riddle, and then rolling elbow to knock him off the ramp because he's from behind. Solid match, solid attack from Cassius Ohno. I'm going to give it a good 3 out of 10, 3 out of 5 as well, because Matt Riddle is fantastic, and just I like how they're progressing this, and he's getting some decent wins. We then see Ricochet asked about being the highlight reel of NXT. He said it feels great, but he did not come here to be the highlight reel. He came here to win, and he has the North American Championship to show for that. He has not lost in a takeover, and he will defend his North American title next week to anyone who's willing to take the challenge. So yeah, Ricochet, decent promo, 6 out of 10. We then see a video featuring Heavy Machinery getting ready for the Undisputed Era. Tucker said they fought for the tag team titles a year and a half ago, but they were not ready. They have grown a lot over time, and they need the shot at the NXT tag titles. Their journey is not complete without the tag titles around their waist. They've also been undefeated for 6 months, apparently. I like Heavy Machinery. Good promo, 5 out of 10. I like it. Then William Regal announces that there should be a fatal 4-way match to determine the number 1 contender for the NXT Women's title in 3 weeks. Bianca Belair has qualified for the match. I don't like her. Just not a character that does anything for me, but yeah, we'll see who else qualifies for that. Not really arranged for that. Then we go to Raul Mendoza and Huberto Colorino versus Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake, known as Forgotten Sons. Solid match. Cutler blocks a suicide dive. Blake with a powerbomb on the ropes and hits a boot off the turnbuckle and reverse DDT combination for the win. Decent enough match, 2.5 out of 5. Decent match. I like the Forgotten Sons. They've got a lot of potential. Then the Velveteen Dream was stopped for an interview and asked about his loss to Tommaso Ciampa. He wants better lightings and then asked for another next question. He was asked what is next. He says people are still talking about the Dream. The internet's talking about him. The locker room's talking about him. People have been asking Triple H about him. Dream sees that if he wins, he says Dream over, and then he says I'm leaving you is the next thing for the Dream, which was funny. He just walked off. I loved it. I'm going to give that a 7 out of 10. It amused me. We then go to an Undisputed Era promo. Roderick Strong is looking forward to next week. Cole asks if they have checked all the doors to make sure they're locked in. Bobby Fish says EC3 was under the impression that he's just another guy, but he's the guy you've been warned about. How far are you willing to step into the deep end when you know it's infested with sharks? They bit you once before and they're happy to do it again. Roderick said they injured the War Raiders who are left, the Street Profits or the Mighty. Carl mentions Heavy Machinery. They might be undefeated over the last 6 months, but they've never faced anyone like the Undisputed Era. And everyone has to remember that this is their era. Solid promo. It was in like a backstage truck thing, which was cool. 7.5 out of 10. Decent. We're giving an update on Hansen. He has broken ribs, a ruptured spleen, and torn ligaments. I'm going to say kayfabe on that one. Probably. We then go to Dakota Kai versus Shayna Baszler with Marina Shafir and Jasmina Duke in the ringside. A lot of Dakota Kai in this match. She got a lot of offense in against Shayna Baszler, but unfortunately she tried to go for one too many kicks. Baszler with a gut wrench suplex, Kai with a kick to the head, Kai with a boot to the back. Baszler trips her and then applies the choke, and then she taps out. It was a solid match, 3.5 out of 5. The best match that I've seen today, really was. It was fantastic. Then Shiva and Duke kick Kai, and Baszler joins in the attack. Io Shirai makes her way to the ring and helps clear them out. Shirai with an uppercut to Baszler and sets up for the face wash, but Baszler was pulled to safety. Decent match. Loved it. Really good. And then it was announced Bobby Fish will face EC3 next week. Ricochet will defend the North American Championship next week. We then have Tommaso Ciampa make his way to the ring. He's asked about another. He said another takeover in the box. He is the NXT's MVP. Time and time again, he's proven that a man of the world. He ended the fairy tale, exposed the mystique, and turned the dream into a nightmare. People still refuse to accept him. You refuse. Even the voice of NXT refuses. But mamma mia, here he stands. Damn, ripping on Mauro Ranallo. Love you, Mauro. I vote for you for the commentator of the year on NoDQ.com. Trust me, go vote for him. Everything said and done, the title reign will go down in singles greatest title reign in history. Children will grow up and study his work. He must understand he's not the flavour of the week or the month. He is the 2018 Sport Entertainer of the Year. He will be 2019's Aleister Black makes his way to the ring. Black says he stood toe-to-toe with Johnny Gargano and absolutely absolved him of his sins. Sins that you created, Puppet Master. You're not really the NXT champion. You are the original sin. Sins that he will absolve. He invokes his right to challenge Ciampa for the NXT title at NXT TakeOver fee. Johnny Gargano's music play makes his way to the ring and says, Al, you're getting ahead of yourself because we're not finished. Thank you for involving with sins. This is over when he says it's over. Ciampa then starts stirring the pot, says he loves it when Johnny Wrestling comes out as Johnny Badass. He says, you two should have been in the cage. You should face each other in a steel cage. He knows, he's like, I know you two like the sound of that. Full Tail would like to see you two fight in a steel cage. Johnny asked if that's what the people want. He said, let's do it inside a steel cage. Johnny is not afraid of Black. Black said Johnny Wrestling is dead. He shows Johnny mercy. He will fight Johnny in the parking lot. Johnny's like, how did the parking lot work out for you last time? You were out of action for 3 months. Imagine what I could do inside a steel cage. Black tries for the Black Mass on Gargano, but he gets out the ring to safety, and Black just gives Ciampa the Black Mass instead. Oh, it was fantastic. That's a solid 10 out of 10 promo package. In-ring segment. Loved it. God, these three are fantastic and definitely the cornerstone of NXT right now. Seriously. Gargano's fantastic at the minute. Aleister Black's always on fire. And even Ciampa's just dominating the scene as the heel, despicable champion. I love it. Absolutely loved it. The show, for me, was pretty damn decent. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Pretty decent NXT. I know this is a bit of a long review, but I have got 3 in one because I don't feel like splitting these all up for different videos. I don't really want to upload 3 different videos for this, which is kind of why I like, if it's on the same day, I tag it into the same video. But yeah, I do hope you've enjoyed this review. If you have, please give this video a like. Please support me on Patreon. Link in the description below. Subscribe to more content, and I'll catch you later. Bye.